I know. Every color bleeds into the same. 'Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're wandering just like me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you better know where you're going. I've been painting every fence I know. Every color bleeds into the same. 'Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going. You're wandering just like me. Yeah, you better know where you're going. You're wandering just like me. Yeah, you better know where you're going. Yeah, you better know where you're going. Yeah, you better know where you're going. You're wandering just like me. Yeah, you better know where you're We stand and watch the world go up in flames. We fight for love until we die in vain. When the sky is getting dark and we're broken in our hearts, when we build our own demise, from the ashes we will rise. When the world is falling down, will you be my solid ground? When the world is falling down, will you be my solid ground? Be my solid
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final match of week number 3. This match we got between the Abyss and the Tempest. The Abyss are currently 1-1, and the Tempest are undefeated at 2-0. Last night, we had two different matches. One between the Fangs and the Tide, which in a back and forth series, the Tide were able to take it in 5 and jump to 3-0, while the Fangs fell to 0-3. The second match was an hour later, and it was between the Waves and the Surge. The Waves were able to take that series in 4, and the Surge fall to 0-3, but were able to get their first win and looked very good doing it. So that's a quick recap of the first two games. Quick look at the stats after those two games as well as the weeks prior. Sync's still holding the top, and Greenspeed and myself as the top 3 in average score so far. Going over the match tonight, we got Nate, Hi, and Infinite taking on a revamped Tempest team. Syncs will be here. Unfortunately, Curlbot will not be here the rest of the season, so we're currently switching in subs between Bull and Infinite, but Infinite's playing on the other team tonight, so Bull will be subbing for Tempest. And Silver, last second, was not able to make it, so subbing for Silver will be Not. So thank you to those subs, not only, but all the subs from last night for helping me out, because we kind of needed it, to be honest. That's a quick recap. I'm going to make sure everyone's all set, and we're going to get this game started. Be back shortly.
We look off the edge till the waves come crashing in.
Me?
And we say
Get in where?
our goodbyes
The fucking party.
to the tides that might
Oh, I'm
have
sorry.
been. When the sky is getting dark and we're broken in our hearts.
I forgot we joined a party. I thought we were just joining.
I even mentioned it.
Ashes we
You did?
ride.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was probably getting.
World is falling down. Will you be my solid ground? When the world is falling down, will you be my solid ground?
Alright, we should be starting any second now. Just gotta wait on the players to join. Alright, they are all set. So here we go. Final game of week 3 between the Abyss and the Tempest. Starts in Abyss's zone. Here's Sinks. Paul with the shot. That goes wide. Not is able to get a touch. Tries to pass it mid. Infinite's there to clear. Infinite's going to follow. Blocked by Paul. Nate tries to clear. Blocked by Sinks. Infinite. Second attempt. To Hi with the shot. Hi scores. First goal for the Abyss. 1-0. Great pass by Abyss. Hi just had to beat Not. Taps it perfectly over. Great start for the Abyss. Trying to jump to 2-1. And trying to defeat the undefeated Tempest. Good kickoff. Nate. Gonna try to fall on the wall. Not is able to win that. Not has some open space. Sinks, tries to get it past High. Not able to do so. Infinite. Passes soft. Blocked by Not. Nate with the shot. A little double commit by Paul and Sinks, but Paul is able to get the save. And the shot goes wide. Here's Sinks. Lots of room and boost to work with. Infinite. He's able to get a touch. That goes to High. High with the shot. Beats two. That's going to fall straight down. Can he get a pass mid? Sinks is able to clear. Not with a lot of time. Just flips past the ball. Sinks is able to grab boost. Nate tries to pass it over. Gets demoed, but the pass is still mid for Infinite with the shot. Saved by Sinks. Here's Not. Gets 50'd. Nate gets a reset, but is saved by Paul again. Lots of early saves for passer Paul. Sinks. Drops it down. Infinite. Boots it to the left corner. Here's Nate. Tries to pass mid. Sinks. Touches it out. No boost. Not able to do much with it. Bumps Not out of the way. A little miscommunication from the sub Tempest early. Infinite with an open net. What a block. I don't even know who that was. I think it was Not with a great save. Infinite. Can't get past Sinks. Sinks resets into the zone. Paul pops it up. Not is up. Gets a beat. Infinite. Pops it over Sinks. Sinks can't get a touch on it. Paul plays it to their corner. 3 minutes left. 1-0 Abyss in the game number 1. Sinks with the shot. That's blocked. Here's Nate. Isn't able to get a clean touch. Not's got some room. Infinite able to block. Paul tries to pass mid. High able to clear. Sinks keeps it in Abyss's zone. Tries to pop it over. Gets over one. Infinite with the save. Nate plays it to the left corner. Off the wall, pass mid. Nate can't get the shot on net. That goes wide right. Sinks. Gets 50 by High. Great defense. That's going to be an awkward ball for Tempest. That hits off the crossbar. Double commit by Not and Paul. Triple commit by Tempest. That's a wide open net. Sinks able to recover quickly. Great save. Not. Can't get the clear. Paul has a lot of space to work with. That's going to hit off the backboard. Tries to go for a double tap, but Nate blocks that attempt. Sinks. Plays it to their corner. Lots of good defense in this first game. Nate. Pass mid. What a pass by Nate. High pops it off the backboard. Sinks the only one back. Able to get a touch in the left wall. Sinks takes his time. Pops it up. Sinks versus Nate. What a commit by High from out of nowhere. Not. Touches it down right to High. Easy clear for Abyss. Sinks. Hits it to High. Tries to clear back to Paul. Nate. Beats Not. Just Sinks back. Gets the reset. Not able to do anything with it. Sinks beats 2. Can't beat 3. Minute 15 left. Nate touches over 1. Nate has an open net at the moment. Pops it over Sinks. And the Abyss score again. 2-0. Nate with some great car control. Able to just pop it over 1. Tap it over the other top left corner. Great play. A minute 11 left. Can Tempest make a comeback in game number 1? Infinite beats Not on the kickoff. That's an open net. Sinks the great clear. Here's Nate. Beats Sinks. Paul gets a 50. That goes straight down. Not's up as well. Misses. Paul and Sinks up. Double commit by Tempest. Sinks. Can he recover? What a save by Nate. Nate's going to follow. He has no boost. Pops over 1. Infinite with an open net. Can't get the angle. High. Gets bumped. Here's Sinks. Sinks versus Infinite. Infinite wins the 50. Can Infinite get a double tap here? Off the post. 30 seconds. Sinks needs to make something happen with 30 seconds left. That's blocked. High. Places the corner. Pass mid. Not. Tries to clear. Nate's going to keep it in Tempest zone. Trying to run out some clock. High. Demo Sinks. 10 seconds left. I think they're going to run out of time in game number 1. Infinite. Nate clears, and that is going to do it for game number 1. Abyss take a 2-0 win against the undefeated Tempest team. Just keeping it up for fun. Infinite. To the corner. And that's going to drop on Not. And that is the game. Great start for Abyss. We're 1-1, currently 1-1 in the season. Going up against a team that's undefeated and has dominated both weeks. Unfortunately, they don't have... Tempest doesn't have 2 of their 3 starters, unfortunately. But still, Sinks is playing so strong that they've got to respect it. On the other hand, Tempest have got to stop double and triple committing. They're still trying to figure each other out, so I think there's a lot of time for them. But the double and triple commits are a big problem for them currently. They need to find a way to play together and rotate. Or this could be a quick series for them. Let's see how they respond in game number 2. Please hold. Yep. Making sure everything's going on my end. Sorry, guys. Here's Not. Tries to pop it over. Fakes one. That's an open net. Not with the first goal of game number 2. Gives the Tempest an early 1-0 lead. A little miscommunication between Hi and Infinite, who were both low boost, and then Not didn't really have to do much to get that goal. Just lets it roll in. 1-0 Tempest. With 4:49 on the clock. Lots of time for Abyss to rebound. Nate can't pop it over. Goes to the corner. Here's Hi. Tries to pass mid. Anyone home? No. Sinks, gets a touch. Not whiffs the clear. Nate has an open net. Beats one. And that's a goal for Nate. Tie game. Not just had an easy clear and whiffed the opportunity. That left Nate versus Paul 1-on-1 with Paul being low boost. Nothing he can do about it. Nate just perfectly taps it over. 4:33. Good kickoff by Infinite. She's won every kickoff so far. Sinks. Can't flick it over. Here's Not trying to make up for the mistake he made. Can't get the pass across. Paul tries to pinch. Can't get past Infinite. Here's Sinks. Slow, soft pop. Nate reads it clean, but doesn't get the touch. Here's Sinks alone versus Infinite. It's a tough matchup. Can't get the double. Nate, low boost, not able to go. Hi. Booms it past one. Sinks is there to rip it on net. That's going top right. What a save by Nate with no boost. Here's Hi. Clean 50. Paul is up. A double fake by Paul and Infinite. Sinks has 2 to beat. Hi challenges early. Great challenge by Hi. Here's Nate. 50's Paul. That's an open net. That's just going to roll in. Easy goal for the Abyss. 2-1 with 3:32 on the clock. Very unfortunate pinch for Paul there. Nate just had an easy tap in. Abyss starting to get that momentum back after they let up an early goal. Nate wins another kickoff. Abyss has been winning almost every kickoff this series. Infinite. Goes right to Hi. Sinks. Can't get the 50 on Nate. Nate is up. Gets another touch. He's going to try to follow. Infinite's going to go up against Paul. Good 50 by both of them. Hi. Able to get a touch. Sinks has an open net. Can he double? Nate just can't get the touch. Low boost. Sinks with the goal. 2-2 game. Sinks just forcing it on net. Forcing them to make a play. And Nate was not able to get around that ball. 3:08 on the clock. High scoring game early. Tie up on kickoff. Infinite follows. Here's Paul. Pops it up to Not. Not's going to try to get on the end of this. Another touch by Not. That beats Nate. And Infinite. Not with the goal. And the Tempest take a lead. What a touch by Not. A double commit in the air. Nate couldn't recover, and that was just Infinite back. She just couldn't get around it. 5 goals in 2 minutes. Unbelievable. 2:56 on the clock. Hi cleanly wins the kickoff. Hits off the corner. Paul can't read the touch. Infinite can't read the touch either. Nate with the shot. Easy save for Sinks. He's going to try a double. Doesn't get it. High keeps it in. Not with the 50 on High. It stays in the Tempest zone. Sinks. Pops it over Nate. Sinks with the shot off the crossbar. Not with the rebound. That goes off the left wall. Tempest building up the pressure. Sinks. Pass to Paul. Off the backboard. Sinks is up. Gets the double. And a double commit to clear. But whatever works. Infinite. Can't you get on the end? Passes it mid. High. Tries to keep it in. Good keep in by High. Sinks. There's a lot of time and space. But not a lot of boost. Pops it over one. Nate is able to block. Paul's there. What a read by Nate. Paul was going to hit it off the backboard to himself, but Nate reads it perfectly. Not. Passes down. Sinks. Trying to 50 Nate. Wins that one. Doesn't get the recovery he's looking for, but is able to still win the 50 and pass it mid to Paul. Nate with the clear. High. Taking his time. Not with a clean win. Infinite. Hits it off the right wall. Gonna try to follow. Sinks gets a touch. Infinite. Beats one. Sinks. Pops mid to Nate. Infinite's gonna try to follow. Not was able to clear. Minute 30 left. 3-2 game. Paul with the shot off the right wall. High. Hits it right to Sinks. Sinks has got time and space. What a save by Infinite. Not whiffs that. Nate gets a 50. Clears it out. Trying to give some time for Abyss to recover and get boost. Infinite off the wall. Sinks passes mid. Paul's there. Gets the 50. Gets another 50 on Nate. That's going straight down. Sinks. And not double commit. That's off the corner. Infinite. Takes time. Pops it over. Sinks. Passes mid to Not. Not with another whiff. A struggle. Not is struggling to get a hold of these shots in these first two games. Sinks. Can't. Use Infinite. Not. Hits it off the right wall. High with the shot. Paul can't get the save. Sinks is able to quickly react. Great reaction time from Sinks. Infinite with 30 seconds left. Tempest down 1. Down 1-0 in the series. They need to fight back. Here's Not. Off the right wall. Trying to play an air dribble. Trying to pass in mid. High blocks it. Sinks. Here's Paul. 10 seconds left. Tries to get a 50. Infinite wins it. High with the shot. Blocked by Paul, but Nate pops it up. No time on the clock. Can Tempest keep it up? Infinite. Paul with the shot. That's just wide. Did I miscall this? Wow. I miscalled. That's going to be an interesting watch back. Turns out Tempest had the lead and I didn't notice. So Tempest takes game number 2. Yeah. That's going to be a brutal watch back for me. Wow. That's on me. I thought Abyss had the lead. I was wrong. Hopefully I don't do that again. Like that never happened. Game number 3. Kickoff won by Tempest. The series is now tied 1-1, unlike what I said game 2. Early save for Infinite. Sinks. Off the backboard. No one home. High. Gets it over one. Not. Hits it off the right wall. Here's Nate. Pops it over. Anyone home. Sinks is able to get a touch. Infinite bumps Nate, but is able to get the clear for the Abyss. Paul. He's going to try to follow. High with the shot. High scores. And the Abyss take a 1-0 lead. 4:30 on the clock. Paul just not able to get a clean touch. Tries to 50. High with perfect placement. Close to the top left corner, but not quite. That's all he needed, though. 1-0 Abyss. High wins the kickoff. Sinks. Gets one touch. Not able to get another. Nate pops it up to himself. He's Gonna try to pass mid. Doesn't have boost for it. Sinks. Gets the save. High keeps. A little double commit by High and Infinite. No one's really back yet. Nate trying to stall some time. Good demo by Sinks. Here's Not. Gonna try to flick it over. Good 50 by High. Paul's gonna try to challenge. Here's Nate. Tries to pass mid. Bumps Sinks out of the way. Infinite gets a shot off. That's blocked. Sinks clears. High off the right wall. High's gonna try a double. Paul reads that perfectly. Not's got some time. Plays it off the left wall. Pops over Infinite. Can't beat Nate though. Here's Sinks. Playing it low. Gets bumped by Nate, but is able to recover. Can he get the 50? No. High. Off the right wall. Trying to get a double. The shot off the crossbar. Nate gets a bump on the Not, who's trying to clear it, but Paul able to clear it for Tempest. Abyss have had all the pressure early. 2 demos from Sinks might give Tempest that pressure though. Nate still able to pop it over Paul, and Abyss takes a 2-0 lead. It looks like Tempest was going to get all that pressure back after 2 demos from Sinks, but Nate, the last one alive, able to pop it over Paul, who is about to boom it on net. 2-0 Abyss. 3:14 left. Paul, finally, the Tempest win a kickoff. High. Can't get around Sinks. Not. Pops it up. It's going to go straight down. Not's going to try to play a pass. Perfect pass for Sinks. Off the post. Rebound. Off the post again from Tempest. Infinite. Going to try to take advantage of the misfires. Sinks gets a 50. It goes to Not. The right wall. Sinks. Pops it to Nate. Nate gets an awkward touch, but able to recover very nicely. Paul whiffs that shot. Nate has kind of an open net, but Sinks blocks it. Here's Not. Gets demoed by Nate. Shot by High. Saved by Paul. Good reaction time. That's also on net. Not's able there. Not's there to clear it. Here's Paul. Going up for it. Playing at the corner. Good touch there. Here's Infinite. Off the corner. Saved by Sinks. Sinks is able to get another. Not and Sinks double commit. A miscommunication there from both of them. Paul passes it mid. Not as an open net. Nate with an unbelievable save. How did he get there with no boost? Infinite. Off the left wall. Beats one. Gets demoed. High with the shot. And Abyss take a 3-0 lead. That was an unbelievable save by Nate. I don't even know how he got there with no boost. High able to get it past Paul. 3-0 game. Minute 49. Abyss in full control of this one. Wins another kickoff. Paul hits it back to Not. It's off the corner. Not trying to take some time. Gets a double. Beats Infinite. We might have a Rule 1. We do. Rule 1 between Not and Infinite. And on to the 2v2 we go, but it's going to end very quickly because High scores. 4-0 Abyss. The Rule 1 kind of threw people off of rotations, and then that left Paul alone with High, and High wins that cleanly. Minute 30. Can Tempest try to get some life in them? Even if they don't win this game, get a goal or two to try to build some momentum because they need it right now. High with the shot. Paul hits it to Not. Nate is able to read that perfectly. Paul tries to get a shot. That goes to Not. Not pops it over one. That hits off the backboard. No double for Not. Paul is up as well with the shot. Anyone home? High with the save. Tempest trying to get a goal for morale here. But Abyss says no. Paul with the shot. Infinite with the great save. Sinks. Hits it off the wall. Nate trying to clear. Not's going to try to keep this. Can't get the cutoff. Paul hits it right to High. Trying to buy some time to get boost. Paul demos High. Nate to the back left corner. Nate can't get the double. Paul's got some time. Tries to play. Not tries to pop it up, but just hits it back in their own zone. Sinks able to grab some boost. Flicks over one. Nate is able to follow up. Paul gets a touch. Sinks with an extermination. Gets a demo on Nate. 7 demos for Sinks. Not just hit him into... He pool shot it, and it was still saved. Tempest just can't get one to fall right now. Infinite gets a shot saved by Sinks. 5 seconds left. Not able to get a shot. Nate tips it mid, and that is going to do it for game number 3. And I'm pretty sure this time, Abyss have won this one. Trying to keep it up for fun. Paul is able to save. Gets demoed. Nate drops it down, and game number 3 goes to the Abyss. And they lead the series 2-1. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That missed call in game number 2 is gonna haunt me. These players are gonna see that back, and I might get some heat for it. But I'm the owner. What are they gonna do? Here we go. Tempest need a win to stay undefeated, or try to force a game 5. Will they be able to do it? Or will Abyss beat the undefeated Tempest and jump to 2-1 and rise in the standings? Nate plays it off the right wall. Passes back to him. Able to get some boost. Infinite. Can't get it over not. High off the right wall. High follows. Open net. Sinks is there though. What a save by Sinks. Infinite. Pass mid. Not is able to clear. Nate keeps it in. Lots of pressure on Tempest early. Paul whiffs that. Infinite's going to try to go. Clear by Not. The Tempest really need Not to start finding his game. He's been a little bit off these last 3 games, so he needs to find himself if they want to come back in the series. Here's Infinite. Passes mid. High's under it. Gets it to the left corner. Paul plays it mid. Out to Not. Gets beat by Nate. Sinks is up to the left wall. Back and forth we go. Sinks. Gets it to Nate. Nate tries to clear. Can't get the 50. It's kept in by Not. High. Tries to take time. Sinks is able to win it. Shot on net. Blocked by Nate. Not keeps it in. Tempest with the pressure so far. Infinite's trying to clear it up. Pops it over. A great pop. But Sinks reads it perfectly. High challenges. Wins that battle. Here's Nate. Awkward bounce for Paul. Can't get the touch. Not misses as well. Sinks able to clear it for Tempest. Sinks trying to take over this game. Nate with a great save on Sinks. Nate beats another, but Not with the shot. What a save by High. High off the left wall. Sinks doubles it towards his own net. Paul misses. Sinks is able to get the 50. A lot of costly mistakes from Tempest this series. Sinks pinches mid. A perfect pinch. Paul is able to get a touch on it. Keep it mid. Not has an open net. Not with the tap in. And the Tempest take a 1-0 lead. 2:50 on the clock. Perfect pass by Paul to an open Not. Bottom right corner. Maybe that will get him going. 2:50. Good 50 by Sinks. High. Pops it. Versus Not able to get the touch. That hits off the crossbar. Nate can't get the double. High. Pass back to Infinite. Just pops it up. Not is up. Gets one. High. To the left wall. Has a lot of open space. Sinks clears it up quickly. That hits off the backboard. Can Sinks follow? He can't. Sinks makes it 2-0. Back-to-back goals for Tempest. A perfect shot off the backboard. Easy double for Sinks. 2:27. Tempest fighting to force a game 5 and stay undefeated in season number 1. Here's Nate. Trying to force an upset to Infinite. Infinite just can't get the touch. Not demos. Nate gets a 50 on Sinks. Hi-Hi with the catch. Sinks, demos Hi-Hi. Infinite, able to clear. He's going to try to follow, gets bumped a bit. Able to recover. A great pass by Infinite. Anyone home. Hi-Hi with the shot. Off the crossbar again. Infinite follows. Can't get the touch. Knocks there to settle it. Paul off the back corner. Hi-Hi beats two. That's an open net. Cannot recover. Hi-Hi scores. And the Abyss make it a 1-goal game with a minute 46 left. Just an unfortunate pinch off the corner and not able to get there in time. 2-1 Tempest. Tempest down in the series 2-1 with a minute 45 left. That plays to the corner. Awkward bounce for Tempest. That play passes right back mid. Nate touches it off the crossbar. The Abyss have hit the crossbar multiple times this game alone. Paul. Oh, Paul just hit it backwards. Is that going in? No, that's wide. Here's Sinks. Just Infinite to beat. Open net. Hi-Hi can't recover in time after the demo. And Tempest make it a 2-goal game with a minute 20 left. Hi-Hi almost got there in time. Spawned on the right side, but just didn't have the time to recover. Minute 20 on the clock. Hi-Hi cleanly wins the kickoff and makes it a 1-goal game. That's exactly what Abyss needed to get back in this. Not just messed up the flip on the kickoff, and Hi-Hi wins it clean. We have a 1-goal game with a minute 18 left. Can Abyss force an overtime? Or even just win the game right now? Not. Off the left wall. Nate. 50s. Paul waiting under it. Gets a good touch. Trying to follow with no boost. Can't get the 50, but Sinks is there as well. Sinks full boost. That's a problem for Abyss. What a save by Infinite. It was pretty much in, and she took it out of the net. Sinks. 50s that go straight down. Here's Not. Is not able to get the touch. Sinks. Plays it to Paul. Paul's able to clear with ease. Off the left wall. Infinite. Slows it down for Nate. Nate. Able to take it up the right wall. Beats one. Nate versus Sinks. 2-on-1 with Hi-Hi. Tries to pass it. Sinks with great defense. A quadruple commit from 4 of the 6 players went for that ball there. Paul. Hits it into his own teammate. That goes straight down. Nate not able to get a clean touch. 15 seconds. Can Abyss force an overtime? Or will this be going to game number 5? Sinks gets a reset over Infinite. 5 seconds. Sinks just trying to keep it in Abyss's zone. And then Will. Can Abyss keep it up? No, they cannot. Tempest force a game 5. This is a back and forth series this entire way. Both teams playing lights out at the moment. If Tempest win, they remain undefeated. If they lose, Abyss jumps to 2-1 and flies up the standings. I joined the game. My bad. Okay. Game number 5. Nate wins the kickoff. That's a pop straight to Infinite. Open net. Infinite able to execute on the kickoff goal. 1-0 Abyss. Nate wins the clean kickoff on Sinks. Infinite has all day. Pinches it. Drop shots it over Paul. 1-0 game. 4:56 on the clock. Early lead for Abyss in game number 5. Infinite clean kickoff win again. Sinks. Gets beat by Hi-Hi. Not. Beats one. Nate with a good catch. Pop over Paul. Sinks can't get the save. And we have a 2-0 game early. Nate with a great shot. What a start for Abyss. Just get some comfort in that lead. And now they've got to defend it. Hi wins 3 of 3 kickoffs for Abyss in this game. Sinks. He's able to clear. Hi. Hits it right to Not. Not's able to double commit with Sinks, but it works out. Sinks is already there. Infinite tries to clear. Paul keeps it in. Tempest trying to build some pressure after being down 2-0. Not with another miss. It's been the story of this game for Tempest. Just a lot of missed chances for them. Sinks, whiffs, Not there for the shot. Off the post. Rebound by Sinks is saved by Nate. Tempest has just had so many chances. Infinite. Shot goes off the crossbar. And that's cleared. Nate. Can't pop it over Paul. Hi pinches. Trying to keep it in. Infinite. Tries to chop shot it. Can't. It goes left. Sinks. Has all day. Pops it over Nate. Trying to demo Hi. Hi is able to get there. He's not. Off the right wall. No boost. Trying to play a 50. Infinite wins it clean. Here's Sinks. Able to clear. Nate trying to take time. Goes off the backboard. Can't read it, but Not gets a good 50. Not past mid. A double commit by Paul, but Sinks with the shot, and that's blocked. Tempest. Loads of pressure, but Nate clears it. Nate gonna try to rip a shot. That goes off the backboard. Infinite. Keeps it in. Sinks. Tries to keep it away from the net. Not the last one back. Able to play it to the corner. Hi. Tries to pass mid. Paul gets blocked. That's an open net for Nate. Nate scores! Abyss take a 3-0 lead. 2:55 left. Unfortunate pitch for Paul. Just not able to get it around the net. And that's a tap in for Nate. 3 minutes left. Plenty of time for Tempest to make a comeback. They just got to execute on their chances. Paul plays it to the left corner. Paul's going to try to follow. Nate beats him. Sinks off the left wall. They bump each other again. Just loads of these chances for Tempest. Not. Touches in the corner. Paul gets 50. Paul steals Not's boost and they bump into each other. Hi with the pass mid. Paul able to clear. A little bit of a double commit, but they execute it right. Not with no boost, trying to go. Sinks gets demoed by Nate. Nate can't get the clear. Here's Sinks. Tries to rip a shot. It's blocked by Nate. Here's Hi. Can't do anything with it. Sinks. Pass mid. Anyone home for Tempest. No one's there. Not's able to clear. Here's Paul taking his time. Tries to pop over Hi. Not able to. We got 2 minutes left. Tempest down 3 in game number 5. What a pass by Sinks. Not is there to tap in. We have a 2-goal game with 1:53 left. Tempest needed that in a bad way. A well-executed pass and shot by Tempest. Sinks to Not. 3-1. Abyss got to try to hold this lead. Paul wins the kickoff clean. Nate gets an awkward touch but places the corner, so no shot opportunity for Tempest. Sinks keeps it in, gets the reset. Sinks past mid. A little too hot. Paul off the wall. Smart touch by Paul. Tries to double it off the crossbar. Nate beats 2. Nate's got an open net off the post. Here's Sinks. Gets bumped by Infinite. Nate tries to keep it. Paul goes directly over the ball. Not. Pops it off the right wall. He's going to try to follow. Pass down to Sinks. Not able to get the touch. Tough play. Sinks keeps it. A double commit that executes fine for Paul. And Tempest are only down 1 with 1:10 left. Sinks kind of double commits there, but it bumps Paul into the right position to 50 that win clean. And it falls into the bottom left corner. We have 1:10 left. Tempest were down 3. Trying to make a comeback in game 5 and force an OT. Sinks can't get the touch. Paul. It's the Not. 60 seconds left on the clock. 60 seconds left. Sinks. Pops up. Nate gets a touch over. Sinks. He's able to hit the right wall. Paul can't get the touch. Sinks off the backboard. Nate with the good touch. Not keeps it. Sinks up for the shot. Sinks scores! 44 seconds left, ties the game. What a keep by Knott. And Sinks able to find the angle and put it top left. 44 seconds, 3-3, game number 5. What more can you ask for? Paul wins kickoff. Tempest with all the momentum now. Knott tries to pass mid to Sinks. Sinks with the shot over the backboard. Nate, sorry. Nate flicks over one. Nate trying to get the momentum back. Knott with the clean save. Knott has found his game in game number 5. Paul hits it off the corner, trying to stall some time. Sinks. Hits it low. Trying to beat Infinite. Does. Sinks versus Nate. Not able to get a clean hit. Nate pops it up. Awkward play for Tempest. Anyone there? Paul's able to clear. Paul beats one. Paul, 10 seconds left. 50s high. Nate, or not. 5 seconds left. Nate pops it up to the right wall. Sinks with 0 seconds left. Do we have a 0-second miracle in the works? Infinite tries to keep it up, and we are going to overtime in game number 5. Will Abyss go to 2-1, or will Tempest stay undefeated? Infinite. A little awkward there. Not able to do much. Fakes Paul out, though. High. Is able to beat Paul. Here's Sinks. Full boost. Loads of time. Loads of space. Sinks. Tries to pinch. Blocked by Nate. Knott's going to try to follow. Try to touch it down. Sinks. Can't get the touch. Infinite with a great clear. Paul keeps it. Hits it in the corner. Good demo by Paul. Nate's out of the play for now. Knott can't get the catch. Sinks off the right corner. Pass mid. Anyone home? Paul with the shot off the left wall. Knott backflips. And Infinite's able to clear. That was a wide open chance for Tempest. Knott is going to follow. Tries to flick. Has there to block. Knott demos Infinite. Paul with the shot. The aerial shot. Paul wins the game for Tempest with an unbelievable shot. Are you kidding me? That's a diamond one, people. A clean touch to the top left corner. It bounces into the top left corner. Unbelievable play by Paul. And what a win for the Tempest to stay undefeated. What a series. My opinion, best series so far of the season. The back and forth the entire way, and Tempest able to take first in the league over the Tide after that win. Unbelievable. And that is gonna do it. Unbelievable series. And that is a way to end week number 3. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you again in week number 4. Good night.